Welcome to Pit Pass Live, presented by Honda. I'm IndyStar Motorsports insider Jim Aiello here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on what has been a wild carb day already. We almost didn't have it, but thankfully God smiled upon us here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The rain clouds were out. It was pouring down rain this morning, but then all of a sudden it cleared. We got IndyCar practice in. We got the Freedom 100 in. It was incredible, by the way. We'll get that in a second. Just to top off practice, the last practice before the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500, and Tony Kanaan was the fastest driver on the field today. You'll hear more from him in a little bit, but obviously the highlight of the day has to be the Oliver Askew's incredibly close win to win the Freedom 100. He won by .0067 seconds. Somehow that's only the fourth closest win in Freedom 100 history, but that race continues to live up to the bill each and every year. Jared Andretti said it going into the weekend. He said this race maybe is the best race of the weekend in the last few years. Indy 500 after that one, what we just saw, has a lot to live up to. However, it could. Tony Kanaan says anybody can win from any spot in this field. Let's hear from him.
It was a pretty easy day for us. I wasn't really happy with my car on Monday, and I was extremely vocal about it. And I think my engineers heard me, so we made it better today. Now you know where you're starting, so I was really working on my car, the level of downforce and grip that I wanted to have starting 16th. So really, we work on traffic a lot and trying to find the grip and scan to some of the items that we had it on the list to be able to, once we put ourselves in the front during the race, to know what to do. It's the most competitive field I've ever seen. For my 18 years here, qualifying was extremely hard and it's really tight. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult race. I do strongly believe that every single guy that is starting this race and girl, they think they can win this race, which is true.
Coming up after the break, you're going to hear from Lawyer to the Stars, Jim Voiles, who took us on a tour of his house and his incredible car collection and told us just how much the Indianapolis 500 means to him.
Up in an era where we all were interested in cars. I mean, all of my pals, that's all we did. We worked on cars, drove cars, had fun with cars, chased girls. I mean, that's all we did. Oh, I probably started in the early 80s. There's 15 here at the house. I have a couple stored off site. And I've pretty much, they're all geared around European sports cars. I have two hot rods, a hot rod truck that belongs to my wife, and I have a 32 Highboy hot rod, that all aluminum body, that came from Speedway Motors in Lincoln, Nebraska, who was a friend of mine, Speedy Bill Smith. And so that's kind of what I've got. I think it's just whatever I like, and it's, to me they're all mechanical art. So what I like, the performance, and then the way they look and the way they seem to create an interest in me personally. That's kind of how I've chosen them. I think the guy I really first focused in on was Jimmy Bryan. I have visited lots of mile dirt tracks in this country, and I've seen a lot of dirt racing, and I was always an admirer of Jimmy Bryan. And then it kind of, when the Speedway started accepting rear-engine cars after 1961, I was enamored by Jimmy Clark when he came over. I was a Lotus fan, I was a Clark fan, and Dario and I have that in common. We both kind of idolized Jimmy Clark, and I was painting my first child's nursery when he died in April of 1968, and so it just kind of focused in on me that he was just kind of an epitome of the way I liked the way he drove. And certainly I always have admired AJ. He's a personal friend of mine, and I mean, between transitioning from Jimmy Bryan to Foyt to Clark were really kind of the people I admired as I was growing up.
Welcome back to Pit Pass Live, presented by Honda. We have just one more Pit Pass Live left, and it is, of course, the live show from Gasoline Alley, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on race day morning. You can stream it on IndyStar.com, USAToday.com, and you're going to want to do that. We have a lot of great guests. We got Charlie Kimball. We got Michael Shank. We got Kyle Kaiser, the hero of last week's qualifying. We're going to have Trevor Carlin. It's going to be a great show. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to tune in. We're going to talk all things racing, qualifying, Fernando Alonso, whatever you want to talk about, you're going to hear about it. Tune in, 9 a.m. Sunday, race day morning. Should be fun. Hope you can join us.